Welcome to this session on adding and finding content in the Idea Exchange of Café Learn. Content is brought into the learning path by using the Idea Exchange, which is a crowdsourced repository of content assets that are tagged to each learning outcome. Let's go into a learning outcome and show you how you can add your own content or find content that other faculty have added to this learning outcome. In this case, we're going to contemporary psychology. First, we see the learning path that the students see with the content that was enabled for them by their instructor. But we're going to now go into the Idea Exchange and see the full content repository associated with that learning outcome. All the content is categorized by usage type for easy filtering: assessment, activities, media, slideshow, readings, can easily be found by clicking on one of these icons. And if you'd like to find just the content that you've uploaded, you would click on My Content. The default is that you see all the content when you first come into the Idea Exchange. You can also sort by relevance, newest, or title. To submit a content card, as you see here, you click on the Submit button and fill out each of these fields to provide important information about the content you are uploading to Café Learn. Provide a title that is at least 8 characters long, a description that's suitable for viewing by both instructors and students. You have the option of uploading an avatar, which is an image associated in the content card that describes this piece of content. But you do not have to upload an avatar. The system will assign one based upon the category type for the content that you select here in the category of resource. You can bring content into Café Learn that is a link to an outside website like YouTube or any free and open website by pasting the full address, URL address in this box, or you could select a file and upload any file. Keep in mind, if you upload a file into Café Learn, that you'll be asked to provide copyright information about that. Only licensed content or Open Creative Commons license or your own user-generated content is allowed in Café Learn. You have the option to provide tips for using this idea. This will only be seen by instructors. As I stated before, you'll select a category where this piece of content fits. If it's a lecture or an assessment, an activity, a media, reading. And you'll provide the author of who created this piece of content and the source of where you found it. You can select whether this content is viewable to the public. That means all the instructors in Café Learn who come into the learning outcome that you've selected for this piece of content. Or if you'd like it private just for yourself, uncheck the X and only you will see this content, and other instructors will not be able to view it. The default will be that the learning outcome you came through to access the Idea Exchange will be provided in the Submit an Idea form, but you could always search and select other outcomes that best fit this piece of content. And then you press Submit, and when you return, that content will appear in a card as you see here in the Idea Exchange. In addition to allowing instructors to submit their own ideas, Café Learn has the capability of searching other resource libraries that were licensed by the institution. This arrangement is on special requests, but I'll show you how that functionality works. In this case, we'll be searching Merlot, open source repository. As always, we go in through the learning outcome. In this case, it'll be contemporary psychology, which has found 214 recommended items in Merlot. We'd click on that and come to a list of content that was associated with this learning outcome only. When we find content that we're interested in viewing, we click on the title and can view in a minimal screen the content directly found in that website. We could expand the screen and see the entire site. If we want to add it to the Idea Exchange, we click on the gray button, plus Idea Exchange. Fill out this form. It's very important to associate it with the appropriate category of resource, if it's a video or if it's a reading, and to add additional learning outcomes. The default, of course, is that the learning outcome that we came through will be listed here, but if you wanted to add this, a new learning outcome, or remove this, you can do that. And then we click Add. And when we return to the Idea Exchange, we would find our content that we have added from Merlot. Lastly, I'd like to show you how you add content from the Idea Exchange into the learning path. Simply click on the pencil in the green box on the upper right of your screen. This will bring you into edit mode. You know you're in edit mode because of the orange band that goes across. To add an item, click on the plus side. You select if it's an assignment, you give it a start and end date. But if you'd like the students to have it as a resource and not have a fixed time of when the student begins and finishes accessing the content, you would just click on Resource and select Recommended or Required. And you could assign level to the content, Core, which everybody would see, Rewind for those students who would need a refresher based upon their assessment scores, or Fast Forward for students who score very well on the assessments and can handle more challenging material. You click Submit, and then when you go to the learning path, you will find the content added at the end of your learning path. And you can move content in the learning path up and down, again, by going into edit mode, by clicking on the pencil and moving the arrows up and down to change the location of your content card. This concludes our demonstration on adding content in the Idea Exchange. Thank you for using Café Learn.